Om Bhadram Karnaihi Shrunuyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyamakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangayestuষ্টভাগं sastanubhihi Dashima Devahitai Yadayuhu Om Shanti Shanti Shantihim. May we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. Tranquil in body and mind, may we spend our lifetime for our own liberation and for doing good to humanity. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Friends, this evening, Swami Aseshananda, head of the Vedanta Society of Portland, Oregon, will give a talk on his memoirs of the Holy Mother, Swami Prabhavananda, Saradananda, and other direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Before he starts his talk, I'd like to tell you a few words. Holy company plays a vital role in spiritual life. When I was a young monk, went to a Swami, and he told me his own experience. He said, when mind is very much disrupted, very restless, you try to control it through meditation, japam, studying the scriptures, karma yoga, perhaps all failed. At that time, what to do? He told me, go to a holy man and surrender yourself to him. And he will tell you what is right for you. He will uplift you. I am the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Emphasize this aspect. If you read the Gospel, you will find he mentioned it again and again. Then a person came and said to him, sir, reading your Gospel, we think that you are with Sri Ramakrishna most of the time. He said, oh, no. I was a busy man. I was a headmaster. I had wife, children, family responsibilities. I went to them in, you see, AIM came in 82 and Ramakrishna passed away in 86. Actually, within four and a half years, AIM recorded the diary. I think he recorded almost every day. But Sri Ramakrishna's conversation, he recorded maybe 100 entries are there in 4.5 years. 100 entries. Then he said, you see, but it doesn't matter. If you drink one pitcher of nectar, you will be immortal. If you drink one drop of nectar, you will be immortal. It doesn't matter about the quantity. Main thing is the quality. You see, if you are bitten by a matured big cobra, you will die. And if you are bitten by a tiny cobra, you will die. Because the poison is the same. Sri Ramakrishna said to one of his young disciples who used to visit Sri Ramakrishna quite often from Calcutta, he said, why do you come to me from a long distance? Why don't you go to M, the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? He will tell you about God. Oh, no, sir, I don't like to go to that man. Why? He's a married man, he has wife, children, what does he know about God? I come to you, you are a man of renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, no, no, no. You see, if you go to him, he will talk about this place, means about God, about divine incarnation. Then this young disciple named Swami Subodhananda, who was a close neighbor, very close, where his home and M's home was just 1 minute's walk. Within after I think 8 or 10 homes apart. Then he went to M and said, the master asked me to come to you. M said, that is good, you have come. But I told the master, he was very frank and open. I said, what does he know about religion and God? I told him that he is a householder. You are right. You are right. I have no right to talk about God. But you see, I go to the ocean. And when I go, I have a pitcher. I fill up that ocean water and bring back to my home. And those who come to me, I only share that ocean water. I never give my water. Whatever I got from the master, that I distribute. M lived on the memory of Sri Ramakrishna and distributed the nectar which he got from the master for 50 years. He died in 1932. Master asked me, talk about God. So I did. Last 50 years, still I am not getting any vacation. M said. So these senior Swamis are carrying that nectar, as I already pointed out, from the Holy Mother, the spiritual consort of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Brahmananda, the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna. Sharadananda, and other direct disciples, other illumined souls. You see, you may read his book, you may get all informations, but direct speech has tremendous impact on human mind. If you read Sermon on the Mount from the Gospel, you will get one kind of impression. But if you hear directly from Christ, how will you feel? It booms, it goes straight to the heart. If you read the Buddhist literature, in the beginning of each chapter you will find, thus we heard, thus we heard, thus we heard. Third and fourth and fifth hand information. If you read the Bible, it is second and third hand information. But from these senior Swamis, there are very few are left. We get first-hand information, and that we shall listen tonight. Swami Aseshananda of Portland.
Friends, it is a great privilege for me to speak to you this evening on Holy Mother and other direct and great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. First, I must tell you that I did not meet Holy Mother first. I met Swami Brahmananda first. I was a student of St. Paul's Cathedral Mission College, 1916. Then, I think it is 1917, I came to know of Swami Akhilananda, whom we used to call Nirodh. Swami Akhilananda was a disciple. He was head of the Boston and the Providence Center. So in 1917, it is Swami Akhilananda who took me to Maharaj, Swami Brahmanandaji Maharaj. When I use Maharaj, it means Swami Brahmanandaji Maharaj. If I use Swamiji, it will be Swami Vivekananda. If I use Mahapurush, it will be Swami Shivananda. So he introduced, Akhilananda introduced me to Maharaj. That is my friend. Maharaj asked just a few questions, but he did not talk about spiritual things. But he attracted me, you see. Attracted me, so I used to go. The place is called Balram Bush's house, 57 Balram Bush's house, 57 Ramkantabu Street. We used to call Balram Mandir. So at college, we are allowed outing 2 days, Saturdays and Sundays. So we used to go Saturdays and Sundays, and on special occasions also sometimes we'd go for Ram Nam, chanting of Ram Nam. So several times I went, but one time Swami Brahmanandaji Maharaj was not in Balaram Bosh's house. He went downtown Calcutta to pay a visit to a devotee. And we waited. But then we came to know that Swami Brahmanandaji Maharaj will come late. He will take supper in the devotee's house and would be late. We do not know when he would come back to Balaram Bosh's house. Then some devotees there said, Holy Mother has come from Jairambati. Do you like to see? Have you seen Mother? I said, no, I have not seen. Do you like to see Mother? Then I asked Akhilananda, let us go. But he said that I have some engagement with a senior Swami, so I cannot go, you go. I have seen Mother. So I went by walk. It is not very far. It is a 10 minutes walk from Balram Bosh's house to Udbodhan, or we used to call Marbari. That is Holy Mother's house. Then I was seated in the book department room. And one senior Swami, whose name is called Ishtulal Maharaj or Swami Dhirananda, asked me this question. Well, I have seen you coming to see Maharaj several times. Who will take your responsibility? In Bengali called Bhar Nebeke. Who will take your... But at that time I was a student of philosophy, you see. I was a rugged individualist, in one sense you can say. And so why should another person take my responsibility? I can take my... It is a weakness of mine to give responsibility to another person. Then he said, Swami Dhirananda said, that suppose you go to a temple, which is called, he called a cave temple, dark. You will bump your head at every step. But suppose somebody takes a torch, a flashlight, and shows you the way, then you can see the deity and come back unhurt. Then I asked, please explain to me. So in spiritual life, a guru is important, who is like the torch bearer, who shows the way, who tells you the path that you are to tread. And he will not be satisfied unless you reach the goal. Then I said I have understood to some extent, but if I feel the need of a guru, then I will ask Maharaj. Then he said, you see, if you ask Maharaj, he will give some preliminary instruction. You have to follow it, and then he will give a second step, third step. It will take some years, but Mother is very kind. Why don't you go to Mother? I have not seen Mother. That was a day called the Darshan Day. Ladies could go every day. Mother belongs to them. But for men, 2 days, Tuesdays and Saturdays. These are two auspicious days for the worship of Divine Mother, especially in Bengal. And then there are a particular time, probably before Arati, before Vesper, between 5 and 7, 2 hours were given for, and people would come from long distances. That was the day of darshan. Darshan means when you go to a temple and you see the deity and worship and give the blessing, get the blessing of the deity. So anyway, in the meantime, when Swami was talking, then said it will take some years to get initiation from Maharaj, but Mother is very kind. Yeah, it will be good for you if you approach Mother. Mother, please shower your grace or kripa karun. Shower give your blessing to me. All that. Then I believe one brahmachari came, that those who want to see the Mother should come now. And then he also instructed us that you must not talk. You must not say a single word. You will only touch the feet of the Mother and go by one staircase called in front of Golapma's room and come other staircase which is in front of Swami Sarada room. So I followed exactly what. So Mother had a veil, because what I'm talking it is called the first floor, and Mother lived in the shrine. The half part was the shrine and half part was for Mother. Or Swami Sarada arranged for next room, but Mother said, I want to stay with Thakur. That's the only place we find Mother. That is, half belongs to Sri Ramakrishna, half belongs to Holy Mother. Even today, if you go, you see there is a cot there, and they give a picture, the Holy Mother's picture, they decorate, and they have a footprint and all. So I came, my turn came, I bowed down. Mother had veil. I touched the feet. I didn't see her face, and then came back and sat in the called the book department room. Then Kishtral Maharaj, Swami Dhirananda, said, did you tell Mother to give shower her grace upon you? Swami, I have to follow the instruction of the guide. The guide said to me, you must not tell a single word. You just only bow down and come. Then he called, Swami Dhirananda called Rajbihari. Rajbihari was an attendant of Holy Mother. Rajbihari Maharaj became called Swami Arupananda. You see, Arupananda. His reminiscences are available. You see, called Mayer Katha. First Bengali book called Mayer Katha. Conversations of Holy Mother. So Rajbihari, you take this boy again, and tell that he goes to Maharaj, and he knows Kishore Maharaj is, no, Kishore Maharaj said to Rajbari Maharaj, Swami Arupananda. He goes to Maharaj, he knows Maharaj, and he studies in the college. Swami Kishore Maharaj had a little Brahminical prejudice. He said he's a Brahmin boy. He's a Brahmin boy, so asked Mother to shower her blessings. So I came, Rajbari Maharaj, then introduced me that his name is Kiran. Then Kishore Maharaj has sent this boy. He knows Maharaj. He goes to Balaram Gosai's house to pay respects to Maharaj. And Mother, you please shower your grace, shower your blessing. Mother said, Rakhali to dite pare. Why? Why I should give? Rakhali is entitled, because in those days, Holy Mother and Maharaj, not Swami Shivananda, Mahapurush Maharaj, or Swami Shardananda, Premananda was also, I have seen Premananda, Swami Premananda, but Swamiji asked him not to give initiation. But Rakhal give, Rakhal. And Mother, this. So Mother said, Rakhali to dite pare. Rakhal Swami Brahmananda is quite competent to give initiation or take responsibility. Then somehow or other, I do not know. I was indifferent. If it happens, happens. If it does not happen, it makes no difference to me. I was, but anyways, somehow or other, this idea came to my mind. Say, Mother, if you shower your grace upon me, I will think it Mahashaubhagya. It will be great, good fortune. It will be a God-sent thing, as it were. Then Mother kept quiet. I could see her face, you see. But not this picture that you see. It a little, maybe Mother, see, 1917 I saw, Mother entered Mahasamadhi in 1920. 1920, she was 67, 64, she was 62. A little older picture, So anyway, Mother then smiled and said, after 2 days, there is an auspicious day. You take your bath in the Ganges. Don't take any breakfast. Take your bath in the Ganges and come and wait in the office room. In the office, I will perform worship and I will call you. So then I came down. It did not ring a bell in my heart, but it was Swami Dhiryananda was extremely pleased because his wish has been fulfilled. Then I do not know what it means. You see what it means. Then I came to Balram Bosch's house and said, Mother, give me initiation after 2 days. I do not know what am I expected to do. When I go to the, he used the word hostel, but it's something like dormitory. When I go home, then I will tell you what to do, and I will help you. You don't have to worry. We'll come together. Then we met a common friend. He said to me that you are too young. You do not know what initiation means. You should be more mature, more experienced, all that. In those days, there was no picture of Holy Mother, no picture, no only book. In Kathamrita, very seldom you get. Only in Lila Prasanga you got a little account, a little, not too much. You see. So anyway, but he is our common friend. But he asked me to go back and tell the Mother after I will think over it and I may attain some amount of information what initiation means, and I will be ready at that time. And then, but Akhilananda said, no, don't follow his instruction. He is not a devotee. He is just our friend. That's all. But you should not go back. Keep your word. It means the Mother had given is a blessing. So, but when I came to the dormitory, but my mind was bothering me a little. Well, I have heard from Akhilananda, if Guru gives a mantra, you have to accept. You have to accept them. Suppose you have worshipped, say, God in the form of a father, or you have accepted God as a mother. Motherhood of God appeals. So if Mother said, I will tell the Mother, I want this aspect of the chosen ideal. Yeah. But Akhilananda said, no, you must not tell anything. You must keep quiet. Just when you go to a doctor, you do not say that give me this medicine or that medicine. Yeah. You let him decide. Let him decide. He is a spiritual doctor. You see. But for a long time, I could not sleep. If Mother said, but I will have to open my mind. I must be free. Otherwise, it will remain hidden in my mind. And then afterwards, I do not tell the Mother. But anyway, then I went to sleep. The next morning we went. Up to Shambazar. We took tram called streetcar, and then we walked to Bag Bazar, one of the ghats. We took bath, Akhilananda and I. No, previous night I purchased some garlands, some sweets, some fruits, a cloth, And Akhilananda said you should give a cloth, red border cloth, and also give something you are capable to give with Guru Dakshina. So we fasted. We did not take any breakfast or anything. Then we were eating. Then mother called. Mother called. I believe one devotee was given first. Naresh's brother, he's called Paresh. He was given first initiation. Then Brahmachari called me. I went. Mother was seated in the on a carpet, and there was Sri Ramakrishna's altar. The altar was there. Then mother asked me some question. Then I answered. Then he gave the mantra, you see. And it is exactly the aspect of the chosen Radha that I entertained in my heart. Then I thought mother must be great. She as it was, she read my mind and gave exactly the same. But to tell you the truth, I did not think mother was the divine mother. I thought of the human aspect, a saintly mother, because mother had no external manifestation of glory or grandeur as Thakur had. That calls samadhi. She go into samadhi. And then mother was not the president of our order. Maharaj was the president. She was not a trustee. Yeah. And also, we always look upon man to be greater than woman. This is our human weakness. Yeah. And therefore, and also I did not read any book, and Swami Nikhilananda did not. He used to talk eloquently about Maharaj. Yeah. But only a few times he might have said, but I did not. So anyway, I got the mantra, and also how to perform the japa, repeating the name. Then when I came, mother asked that, will you stay for prasad? You see, prasad means cooked food. That will be probably about 12 o'clock. But I said, mother, I have not taken leave. It's only the morning session. The afternoon session I have to attend. So then you see, wait there, I will send some prasad. Prasad means something like refreshments, like sweets and fruits. So we took some sweets, and we did not stay for cooked food, which every day the offering is done. Rice, the dal, then then shukta, and so on and so forth. Then payesh, all these things. Then before I came, then Rajbari Maharaj said to me that mother has shown you only through fingers, but mala is necessary, rosary is necessary, beads necessary. Then I do not know how to get that, so I will buy for you. You give me, he called me 5 rupees or 6 rupees or something, he said. So I gave. Then you come another day. After 3 days you come, I will string the beads, I'll buy the beads and string them, and then give to mother. Mother will sanctify the beads. So after 3 days I went. Then Rajbir Maharaj said, these beads are mature beads. They are very good beads, strong beads. Then how do you know that? Mature, immature beads, what is the difference between mature, immature beads? See? He said ripe and unripe. Yeah, paka, dana. See. So what is mature beads? How do you know that? Then he said that you take a bowl of water and you dip. If it floats, then no good. If it sinks, then it's good, mature bead. So he said, I have done it with my own hand, and also this silk thread I have put. Then I went to mother. Mother gave me and asked mother how many times. He said he did not give any definite. Do as much as you like. That's it. He did not give any number, but he said that you have to put every day. You have to repeat the morning and evening. And then mother also said that I asked then, mother, suppose when you go to Jarambati. At that time, I was not quite at home with Swami Saradananda. Because the first day I came, Swami Saradananda scolded me. I have written in my book. I left my shoes at the doorstep, and he called me. And who is the boy? Where is the boy? Is it with a grave voice? With a grave voice. That was my first time there, and I said he could have be a little kind, could have been a little kind to me. I see, out of ignorance. But why do you not keep the boys under the staircase, where it belongs? Now somebody comes and he'll run into an accident. He'll fall down just on the doorstep. So that the reason I was very much afraid of Swami Saradananda. Another time also, I went to Holy Mother to see Mother and came back, and Swami Saradananda was coming from Balravash's house. On the road, I wanted prostrate, and he got another scolding. Why are you so hurry? Why in a hurry? Why cannot I go home and sit there? And so, but later I understood that he had some rheumatism. All on a sudden, if anybody prostrate, he has to bless, and then he may he may fall down on the street. You see, coming by walking all and he stop just like a car, and you put a gas on it, and you run into an accident. Yeah. So that I later understood. That it was scolding. But that scolding was a blessing in disguise. It took away all my karmas, in a sense. But I prayed to the Mother. I prayed to the Mother, and on account of I call the blessing of the Mother, Swami Saradananda, the distance between myself and Swami Saradananda disappeared. Then destiny brought me as a worker. But one day Swami Saradananda called me that, you see, will you be able to write letters for me? So and so has gone, so I need somebody. I will dictate. And then he said, but you must not tell anybody, you see, when you go downstairs, because he was the General Secretary. There are many things which are very confidential, you see. I said to Swami Saradananda that if I say anything, you can fire me, you see. But later on, I can say I am indebted to Swami Saradananda, because it is Swami Saradananda who opened my eyes to the greatness of Holy Mother. Because Swami Saradananda, when he used to give initiation, he will give some detailed instruction. He had a method, that first step, second step, third step. So one day I said to Swami Saradananda, Maharaj, Mother did not give me any kind of detailed instruction. I want something from you. Because I have seen when I write letters to your disciples, they will give some definite instruction. There is a regular, definite method. Then Swami Saradananda scolded me. You are the greatest fool. Yeah, that is, Mother is the divine, Jagat Janani, the Divine Mother herself. And what she has given is the last word of spiritual life. And cling to the mantra and meditate on the chosen ideal according to her instruction. And through her grace, we will achieve everything in life. So it is Swami Saradananda then, as it were, opened my eyes to the divinity of Holy Mother. Mother was divine. I did not realize, you see. But again also, Golapma, when I used to serve Golapma, when we had heart trouble, palpitation of the heart, so sometimes I would fan her or bring medicine for her. It is Golapma. One time say that you see, if I have joined the order when Holy Mother was alive, I could have served her, and I could have understood also about her true nature, but I have not understood her. Then Golapma said, I have lived with her all these years. I have seen her in Samadhi. Yes, I have not understood her. Even I could not understand her. Then Gulabma narrated to me that one time Holy Mother came to Shampakur. Sri Ramakrishna, when he became sick, he came to Shampakur for treatment. Holy Mother came to Shampakur house and said, "Is it true that you are dissatisfied with my service and that is the reason you have come to Calcutta for treatment?" Sri Ramakrishna asked her, "Who told you?" Then mother said, "I have heard." Probably Joginma might have mentioned, because Joginma and Gulabma, they are good friends. Joginma might have mentioned this to Holy Mother. But it is Gulabma said to Joginma that probably Thakur was dissatisfied. She was feeding Sri Ramakrishna too much, and disease increased, and therefore Sri Ramakrishna was a little dissatisfied and went to Calcutta. You see, that was the kind of call it the wrong news. So not always, you see, good news. Now sometimes one when say Gulab, mother said it is Gulab. Gulab mentioned to Jogin, and Jogin has reported to me. No, I cannot dream about it. Let this Brahmin woman come, and I will teach her a lesson. Yeah. Thakur, you should not mind anything. This is just a mere false report. There is no basis on fact. The Ram Babu, then Girish Babu, then Amen, all others, householder disciples said that the Dr. Sarkar will be available, you see, and the boys also could, young boys also could serve Ramakrishna. Going to Dakshineshwar, it is difficult for them. They did not renounce the world at that time. And so the boys could serve, and also the doctor was available, and the devotees would come. So that the reason it is not that Sri Ramakrishna was dissatisfied with them. Then he said, Thakur said to Gulabma, "Do you know who she is? Sarada Saraswati Jayandit Esache." Sarada is Saraswati. That means the goddess of wisdom. She has come to give illumination. And he said, unless she pardons you, you will have no place here. So Gulabma said, I wept all the distance to Nahabat. Mother went back to Nahabat. So he went there and fell at her feet. The mother, "Please forgive me." Gulabma, mother patted her on the back. "You are my child, you are my daughter. How can I take any offense to you?" You see, unknowingly might have said something, but everything is all right now. So anyway, it is Sharada, it is Thakur's word. Sharada Saraswati. The goddess of Saraswati is a Vedic deity. You find in the Vedas, Gayatri or Saraswati, that is the Veda Mata, the Vatama. Swamiji had a vision, you see. Ahi Varode Devi Trakshare Brahmavadini Gayatri Chandushang Mata Brahmajoni Namastute. The rishis were chanting like that. So this is the Vedic the time they worship that Saraswati. Saraswati also is a river, you see. But anyway, in this context, it is the mother who, the giver of wisdom. Some in the Bible you can call Sophia, you see, the goddess of wisdom. So, then I have to, mother's blessing, Swami Saradananda. Swami Saradananda say, you have got the blessing of the mother, you see. In goodness of time, you will be able to know the value of it. Cling to the feet of the mother. But Swami Saradananda, you see, replaced, as it were. Her mother entered Mahasamadhi. Swami Saradananda became like the mother, and I had the opportunity to become very close to him. I've written in my book. In the beginning, I was terribly afraid, but I prayed to the mother. Mother, you are Abhaya, give her a fearlessness. And so through mother's grace, Swami Saradananda made me his private secretary, and not only private secretary, personal service. Personal service. He liked my my massaging. You see, one time she had rheumatism, pain. Probably Aseshananda did something, but pain increased. But I massaged him because I wanted that he should go to sleep, that I can also to go for rest. Yeah, I had also that idea. It is not with that idea. So I prayed to Sri Ramakrishna that if he goes to sleep, he'll take a little nap like thing. Yeah, then I will also go and rest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He had a bulky body. Yeah, yeah. But Maharaj's body was soft. Maharaj was very soft. Swami Sarada's body was quite strong. So then I prayed to the master, and he went to sleep. Then he got a miracle hand. So anyway, Swami Saradananda he used to give initiation. It is Sarala who asked that question. Holy Mother would give initiation, will take just a few minutes. But you take half an hour. Why? Then he said, I have to see the mantra, and also see that Sri Ramakrishna accepts the devotee whom I offered. These great souls only introduced to Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. And from Swami Saranda, he was also a tantric scholar. He was a tantric scholar, and in his Bharati Shakti Puja, he has mentioned that that is called awakening of Kundalini, spiritual life, the awakening of Kundalini. I have mentioned that is the scientific method. They are awakening the Kundalini of an atom, and the power is there. You see, they are splitting atom, you see. But it is awakening the Kundalini means consciousness. Now our consciousness is limited. Eye consciousness is connected with the body or the mind. It is limited consciousness. But when it is awakened, it becomes one with infinite consciousness. You see. So therefore, one time there, Swami Vishesharananda asked Swami Saradanda a question. And in that context, Swami Saranda said, the Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. This Vedic mantra, called this peace chant in the Vedas or the Upanishads, speak of the same truth which we find in the Tantras, which speak of in terms of called awakening of the spiritual consciousness, Kundalini Shakti. Then Vishwasnanda asked me, would you kindly explain to me a little more? I cannot grasp everything. Then Swami Saranda said, you have to perform sadhana. You have to perform spiritual practice. This cannot be explained to a person who has not reached a state of consciousness, which I call, Swami Saranda said, is limitless consciousness. So the awakening, so the Divine Mother, when we find in the Tantra Shastra speaks of the Divine Mother, it is the Divine Mother which is in every person in the form of the Kundalini Shakti, the spiritual power, and it is to be awakened. And the Guru Shakti first, but the Guru must be an illumined soul. Then alone you have Shakti. Shakti usually from God, Satchidananda is the Guru. But he, just like this bulb, cannot show any life unless it is connected to the powerhouse. Similarly, the human Guru connects himself with the Divine Guru, the Guru Shakti. But the relationship the Guru and the disciple is forged through a sacred word called mantra. It is not a mere word. Mantra is charged with power. Mantra Shakti, you see. As we find in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was God, the Word became God. Yes, they call Logos, Christian theologian and Logos. But this mantra, mantra, it must be Shakti. Shakti means the Guru called seed mantra. It is called seed mantra, Bija mantra. is a seed, but it must be a living seed. But without sadhana, this seed will not sprout up. Therefore, sadhana is very important. Sadhana. Sadhana means repeating the name, repeating the mantra, and meditating on the spiritual form in the called the heart center. Hridaya Pundarika. And when, therefore, although we find in the Tantra Shastra speaks about called the Ishta and Guru. Ishta is to be meditated in the heart center, and Guru is to be meditated in the head center. Ishta is the symbol of the individual soul, free from all worldly impressions. And Guru is the symbol of the universal soul. So, and the purpose of sadhana is unification of the Ishtam and the Guru. Unification of the individual soul with the universal soul. But simply by sadhana, it is not possible. There needs also kripa. The divine grace is also necessary. But if one has that kind of what you call the purity of mind and faith in the Guru, then the grace of the Ishtam will come. You see. So anyway, Swami Saradananda gave me sannyas. And Maharaj gave me, Swami has said, it is difficult for me to mention about all the direct disciples, but I am grateful to Swami Maharaj, Brahmanandi Maharaj, for accepting me as his disciple. It means brahmacharya. I have written in the book, you see, Swami Saradananda said, come with me. We came to Belur Math. Maharaj was in Balram Bush's house. That, but Thakur's, before Sri Ramakrishna's birthday, he came to Belur Math. Then Maharaj was to decide. Although Shuddhar Maharaj, Swami Shuddhananda was telling Maharaj, you must make some rules. Boys will come to you, and out of your compassion, you will give them brahmacharya. You see, even if they have lived this life of a brahmachari for 1 year or 2 years, there should be. Sudhir Maharaj at that time wanted to make, I think, 3 years. 3 years. But now it is 5 years. You see. So Sudhir Maharaj will make fun. I cannot say anything. You will all get recommendation, Sudhir. That's what I will do. But one day he called, you see. Swami Aseshananda let me, I was his personal attendant, so he said, you stay in Belur Math. Maharaj will call the candidates, and then he will decide whom will go. But I did not, because I joined 1921, and it is 1922. I thought Sudhir Maharaj will not allow me, you see. But Swami Aseshananda said, no, it is Maharaj's wish. Maharaj Thakur's son, whatever he does, it is his special prerogative. You see. We all obey Maharaj. We are all servants of Maharaj. So Maharaj said that will be all right. So I was there in Belur Math. The Maharaj asked me to the water to jasmine plants, and I was to do that. And Maharaj used to examine and see that whether I do it properly or not. You go for a walk and see whether I go those two plants, I give sufficient water, or just in a casual way. So anyway, Maharaj called one day. Is it my time is over?
No, Maharaj, go ahead.
Yeah. He called one day. It is from his room he came. We call veranda, porch, and he was seated in an easy chair. And he called Hariprasna Maharaj. Hariprasna Maharaj was there. Then Swami Shuddhananda also was there. He came. You see, he kept quiet. Yeah. And Maharaj's way is unique. Usually, Sudhir Maharaj way is how many years, or when you joined, when you joined, what do you do, what did you do, all that, what service you have done, rendered to the order, this way. But Maharaj, he unique way. I remember one, his name is Govinda. Oh, Govinda. What is his name? Govinda. You come from where? Midnapur district, that side. Midnapur district, then those people know, called Oriya dance, how the Orissa people dance. You have to show. And actually he performed that Oriya, he sang, Yeah, Kathakali, he sang and danced in front of all of us. He was not shy. You see. Yes. Then my turn came. Oh, Sharat Maharaj has recommended. You see, Sharat Maharaj recommended you. You will have to give 108 rupees. I said, Maharaj, I am a penniless brahmachari. Where shall I get money? I tell you, Swami Sarada has personal money. Oh, and Udbodhan is very rich. Udbodhan is rich and he has also personal money, personal account also. Yeah. And so you go to Swami Sarada, he has recommended, he had to give. So I went, Swami Sarada said, whatever money I have and whatever money Udbodhan has, all belongs to Maharaj because he is the president. And whatever he will ask will be given. Then I came back. I said to Maharaj that whatever money, Maharaj will, because all money belongs to you. You are the president. You see. Whatever money is in the bank in the name of Swami Saradananda or in the name of Udbodhan office, all belongs to you and whatever you are. And then Swami Saradananda said, I do not believe in empty words. It must be documented. It must be documented. I, Swami Saradananda, promised like that. And like with a notary public. So I went. But you cannot think that is a fun and all that. No. Then Maharaj will be grave. Will be grave. No, you have to take. What do they say? Implicit obedience necessary. So I did not consider funny thing. I was thinking that Maharaj said it must be done. So I went again. Then Swami Sarada said, tomorrow I will go there and talk to you or come with me. Then he came, but he did not bring any money, I remember, but brought some sandesh, Nobin Maharaj sandesh, and asked me to give it to Thakur, Bhandar. And then Swami Sarada said, if you go, I have to talk something. But no money. Only thing, Maharaj was very kind, that you suffered from malaria, you went for relief for malaria, so you don't take bath, early morning bath. You just sprinkle water. And then you don't take fast, or don't fast also. Don't come. You from Bhandara, Thakur's Bhandara, you take some fruits and ask the Bhandari to give a little milk. You don't come to fast, you see. They was very kind. Then Sudhir Maharaj, afterwards Sudhir Maharaj said that Maharaj, whatever you want to do, I am at your service. But it will be good to make some rules and all that. Yeah. But Sudhir Maharaj became our Acharya. Yeah, Acharya. You see. Then Maharaj also said, go the mantras that you are going to recite and offer as an oblation to the fire. You should know the meaning of the mantras. So Sudhir Maharaj explained. Sudhir Maharaj was our Acharya. And in the Dhyan Ghar, that means old temple, not the present temple, the old temple, the next room, there Mahapurush Maharaj was there, Maharaj came, you see, and Sudhir Maharaj recited the mantras, we all recited. Name Maharaj gave, and they call white cloth and all that. So you find this is the Maharaj's blessing. I used to go to Maharaj because the Maharaj was the first Swami, who introduced me to the Ramakrishna order. Holy Mother came later, the picture. And Maharaj, I was there, at that time I was in Udbodhan. Maharaj's last days were full of sweetness and love. He called Swami Saradananda. Swami Saradananda came. And then, you being present, I will have to go. Tumi thakte amai jete holo. Swami Saradananda could not explain why. It is out of love. One time Maharaj had called typhoid. Swami Saradananda nursed him. Swami Saradananda was a good nurse, you see. So Maharaj became all right. She had a great faith in Swami Saradananda. Any difficulty comes, they will call Swami Saradananda. The spiritual head was Maharaj, administrative head, Swami Saradananda. Swami Saradananda, what he does. In Benares Shivashram, there was some difficulty. He says, what Sharat Maharaj has done, absolutely approve of it. But Maharaj also asked all of them to come and meditate. And also he gave sannyas. In that way, the Maharaj and Swami Saradananda, they were so close-knit companions in the work of our master, you see. So that the last Maharaj used some word called Kamale Krishna. Kamale Krishna. That is, Swami Saradananda wrote in the Lila Prasanga, in the Sri Ramakrishna, the great master, narrating the life story of Maharaj, how he came, the spiritual son of Sri Ramakrishna, that Kamale Krishna, he saw that Maharaj was holding the hand of Krishna and dancing with joy. So Maharaj, he says, our Krishna is not the Krishna of sorrow and sadness. Our Krishna is Ananda Krishna, of delight, of peace, of sweetness and joy. So Swami Saradananda wrote that Kamale Krishna, that episode. But Baburam Maharaj said it should not be publicized. If Maharaj knows, then he'll give up his body. So Swami Saradananda sent a person not only to remove that part, but even the types were burnt. So, so nobody knew, but Maharaj had the vision that he was holding the hand of Krishna. And he blessed also. He blessed. I mean, Nibbanananda, he was very loyal to Maharaj. He said, I am a fakir. I am gold and silver I have none. But I bless you. May you attain Brahmagyan. May you attain Brahmagyan, illumination. Shuddhi Maharaj. Then he blessed Swami Sarvananda, Swami Shankarananda, and all those. So Maharaj, and also he gave the assurance, Thakur is real. Thakur is real. Sri Ramakrishna is real. And stick to Sri Ramakrishna. Yeah. And all your desires will be fulfilled. That comes to my mind of the incident of Swami Premananda. I tell Swami Premananda the incident. Baburam Maharaj. We call Baburam Maharaj. I met him first. Baburam Maharaj is called Har Shuddha Noikusha Kulin. Sri Ramakrishna is very pure to the marrow and bone. No worldly desire, even in the farthest corner of the mind. So Baburam Maharaj I meant, he was not well. In Udbodhan he was there. Then afterwards, you see, he went to Devghar for a change. Then there is 1918. It is 1918 I am talking about. 1918, there was called influenza epidemic. Yeah. The people used to call war fever. First attack was not serious, but second attack, in some cases, was very fatal. So Baburam Maharaj was brought by Mahapurush Maharaj to Balram Bosh's house. And there I went to see Maharaj, and then Baburam Maharaj was there. Then Baburam Maharaj said to me, are you Ames, the writer of the gospel, Kathambata, Master Mahashaya? Are you Ames' grandson? But I was foolish in those days, you see. I said, there is no connection, Swami. He is a non-Brahmin, I am a Brahmin. Yeah, I should not have said that, you see. Yeah. But he said, Baburam Maharaj said, no, there is similarity. Ames' grandson nose and your nose, a little pointed nose, look alike. I said, all right. Then he gave prasad, the attendant of Swami Atmarukashananda. He gave some prasad. But that day I remember, Baburam Maharaj was not willing to take any medicine. Bipin Ghosh, who saw Sri Ramakrishna, this is how Sri Ramakrishna, Bipin Ghosh, he was also somewhat related to Baburam Maharaj. He was treating Baburam Maharaj. Then the attendant reported that Baburam Maharaj has refused to take any medicine. He will take only Thakur's charnam with the holy water. Then Maharaj came. Baburam Da. Da means the elder brother is called Da, and the younger brother is called Bhai. You see, Baburam Da, this body does not belong to you. You have seen Thakur. How he will follow the instruction of the doctor implicitly? Oh, yeah, Maharaj, Thakur's representative. Whatever you will say, I'll do. Then you take Ganges, holy water first, and then medicine. All right. Then after 2 days, Baburam Maharaj's critical time came. Baburam Maharaj also suffered from the same disease Holy Mother suffered, that called Kalazar, black fever. So Baburam Maharaj, I don't exactly remember, oxygen or something was brought or something, the critical moment, you see. Then Maharaj came. Maharaj's room, next room, Baburam is the hall, Balaram Bashar's house. Baburam, is Thakur real? Is Sri Ramakrishna real? Do you see him? If you say it is real, then we'll have faith. It is not for Maharaj, it's for us. That Sri Ramakrishna is the living presence. He is the source of our inspiration and the fountain of our life, destiny. So Baburam Maharaj kept quiet. He closed his eyes, meditated a little. Then he smiled. You see. I see him very intensely. So I say, Khub beshi. And then he said, Kripa. Through the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, I see him. And through the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, everything will be possible. Impossible things will become possible. And when Baburam Maharaj entered Mahasamadhi, he died, Maharaj wept very like a child. They are so close together. This is very difficult to understand, but Maharaj shed profuse tears. Then we find then that the Mahapurush, if a story, if you are to say, it is Mahapurush Maharaj who sent me back. When I joined the order, my mother came. And he said, you are Ghoshal, and I am also Ghoshal. You are my father. You please send him home, and don't allow him to stay here as long as I am alive. So Mahapurush Maharaj ordered me. It was 1921. I was going to the university, and boys and girls were picketing, and Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. Then I thought, why non-cooperate with British government and give trouble to my father? He was a government attorney. Why give my father? Why not join the Belur Math, Ramakrishna order? So I came. Then my mother came. My brothers must have informed, so came, and so I had to go home. Then it is Ananga, Swami Onkarananda wrote a letter to me, Jap Palayote Sha Jiboti, a letter in Sanskrit, so that my mother cannot understand properly. When he wrote the letter, saw it, read the letter, but he gave it to me, he didn't say anything. Jap Palayoti Sha Jiboti. It is not by staying that you will get anything. It is better to run away. Run away. The night was dark. And I came to the Red Road station or depot, and one of my friends was going on a marriage. And if he would see me, then he will drag me. So I waited that when it boarded the train, I went to the last train, you see, and came, and then Mahapurush Maharaj saw me, that your mother comes, you have to go home, he said to me. Then I wrote a letter, Mother, if you come, if I know that you will be coming, that I will go to the Himalayas, you will not find any trace. But if you do not come, I promise you, so the permission of Mahapurush Maharaj, I will go and see you whenever you need my service and all that. My mother did not come. So anyway, I stayed, and it is Swami Sarada Devi that I can tell me, who, as it were, became an exemplar how to live a sadhu life, a monastic life.
The Brahmagana story, Shuddhananda and Brahmagana
story. Oh, that story then. Yeah. That story is with Chandra. Chandra was the worker. Chandra was a worker in the Udbodhan office. Chandra Mohan Datta was a disciple of Holy Mother. He used to, I was assistant to the manager, and he used to pack books or get Kathamrita and books from Master M or Dhritashram or that. He was my, as it were, called the helpmate or worker. And see, Chandra was a disciple of Holy Mother, Chandra Mohan Datta. And one time, Shuddhananda, Swami Shuddhananda, and another Swami, I forget it, Pragyananda, they were at that time connected to the Udbodhan, you see. Swami Shuddhananda afterwards, you see, became our general secretary and lived in Belur Math, but for some years he was the editor of Udbodhan, and editor of Udbodhan usually stays in Udbodhan office or Holy Mother's house. So Swami Shuddhananda and Pragyananda, they going to take baths in the Ganges. I used to go every day, go to take bath in the Ganges and come back. Then, Chandra, Swami Shuddhananda said, Chandra, you go to Holy Mother. For what reason? So prasad. That means the fruits and rasagholla, sandesh, and all these things you want. Do you know who Holy Mother is? Holy Mother is the Divine Mother herself. When you go to Holy Mother, you tell me, what should I ask Holy Mother? You should ask Holy Mother for Brahmajnana, Mukti, Brahmajnana. Well, you please wait. I will go to take bath, but I will first get Brahmajnana from Mother, and then I will get. So Chandra went, because this talk was downstairs, on the passage to the Ganges, on the way to the Ganges. So Chandra went. He's thinking that Mother Brahmajnana, give me Brahmajnana. Mother was worshipping. And Chandra became nervous. He said that no word would come to my life. Mother said, seeing her face, as it were, she was Mother Kali to destroy the whole world, like that. So that is, and I felt terribly afraid, as if life is ebbing out of. Then Mother did not say anything, but if you perform worship, you are expected not to speak. But by sign, Mother said, what can I do for you? What do you want, my child? Then Chandra had that kind of palpitation in the heart, no words would come. At last his words say, Mother, prasad din, prasad Mother, prasad Mother. He tutored. He was trained to speak about Brahmajnana din. Then he said, prasad Mother. Then Mother pointed out that under the cot, it is covered. That it reminds me of Sri Ramakrishna, that you see a parrot is telling that Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe. But when cat comes, he gives a natural cry. Yeah. So, but Chandra, I have learned something from Chandra also. One time, Chandra Mohan Datta went to serve Mother. Mother, I want to massage your feet a little. Guru Seva, he said. But Mother said, no, my child, Sharala is there. So then Sharala will feel hard, will feel fat. What? I tell you one thing. You go and massage the feet of my Sharat. Go, Sharat. And I tell you, one who will serve Sharat faithfully will attain Brahmajnana. Yeah. So he, Sharadananda allowed to do it. But it is those words of Chandra rang a bell, that Mother has said, who will serve my Sharat faithfully will attain Brahmajnana. So I wanted to cling to Swami Sharadananda and serve him. Although there was a time when Mahapurush Maharaj wanted me to go to Madras. Yeah, Madras, you see, after convention. Swami Sarvananda came, Swami Jyotisharada was there. Usually Swami Sarvananda, after Vesper, he would allow me to meditate, not call. But on that day he called. It is in the called the visitors' room. With a grave voice, Swami Aseshananda said to me that Mahapurush Maharaj has ordered you to go to Madras to be a worker, and a day will be selected very soon, and you will be informed, and you make yourself ready. It was something like very unexpected, you see. I did not know what to say. It was like a bolt from the blue, you see. And I said to Swami Aseshananda, you see, Maharaj, I do not want to go. I am quite happy here. It is President's order. If you do not obey the order, you will be expelled. The grave voice, he said. You see, it's the President's order. Sarbananda has brought the order from the President of our mission. And if you do not obey the President, you will be expelled. Then I somehow that this I said to Maharaj, Maharaj, I am with you. Won't you protect me? Aapne rakha karben na. Won't you protect me? I am with you means I want to stay here. I want to serve you. See? He smiled. Then he said, well, Sarbananda, you find out another Swami who is willing to go. Yeah. But he said, you go tomorrow. You go to Belur Math and tell Mahapurush Maharaj that if he permits, then Swami Aseshananda has no objection to keep me. Yeah, he was very methodical in that way. This is his order. So you have to go tomorrow and get Mahapurush Maharaj. Then when I said, Maharaj, I am serving Swami Sarada, it is a great opportunity, it is a great privilege. And if I go to Madras, I may not be able to see you. I may not see you and Swami Sarada, and then I may repent later on. That's all. Well. Mahapurush is like a Shiva. Sarvananda has said, it is not Sarvananda, Swami Akhilananda. Akhilananda said that Kiran is my friend. We are together. We are friends. Bring Kiran and we'll work together in harmony and all that. It is, Akhilananda gave that his instruction, or call his desire. So when Swami said I was with Swami Saradananda, and he said, he is a Mahashaubhagya. It is a great good fortune to be with Swami Saradananda and serve. And Swami, do that as long as Swami Saradananda is pleased. It is very fine, very well. It is your good fortune. Never lose it, this opportunity. But I called Swami Saradananda. Then Swami Saradananda came. We find out another person, and then but I had to go to Madras afterwards, you see. Afterwards I had to go, because the great soul, if you say, even Swami Saradananda, one time he used to take good care of me, my physical health. My health was not good. One day he says, whatever is possible for you to do, I have done. You go to America, and your health will be all right. But at that time I said, in my mind, I said, I am not going anywhere, America or England or any place. As long as Thakur keeps me and allows me to serve this holy man, this illumined soul, I will not go anywhere. But Nikhilananda afterwards wanted it. So, but that also I did not want to come out of necessity. Because Swami Nirmal Maharaj, Swami Madhavananda, he was very strict, you see. He wanted me to go to Mauritius. And then Shivuda came, Abhinashananda came, Mauritius. He gave, after his return, he gave a talk in Madras that 6 months they grind, they were British, they grind sugarcane, and 6 months they grind the soul of men. When I heard that I will not go there. I tried my best. So Mauritius, he asked me to go to Mauritius. And then Nikhilananda wanted an assistant, and wrote to Swami Kailashananda Swami of Madras. It is said, why not take Aseshananda? Will he come? Then he wrote a letter to me that if If Nirmal Maharaj does not send to Mauritius, then I will go. I am willing to go to America because it is a place of pilgrimage. Swami Sarada came here, Swamiji came here, Swami Hari Maharaj came here. You see. And if God wants me, I will also go see those places where Swami Sarada worked and Swamiji. You see. So anyway, we are all devotees.
One story of Hari Maharaj.
Huh?
One story of
Hari Maharaj. Hari Maharaj's story will be that when I came, I saw Hari Maharaj. Hari Maharaj I saw in Balram Bose's house. And but at that time I was not, I just bowed down to him. Maharaj was the central figure in those days. You see, even Swami Saradananda also, I go just from a distance also, bow down and all. So anyway, Hari Maharaj, it is after Holy Mother's Mahasamadhi, it is Rajbari Maharaj. Mother said to me, if I am not here, you ask Rajbari. It is Rajbari Maharaj who wanted that I would join. Mother has passed away, I should join either Benares Shivasram or Benares Advaitasram. So we came to Advaitasram. I was in Advaitasram. So in Hari Maharaj's, introduced me to Hari Maharaj. So then I used to go every day. There was some Bhagavatam class. Lalit Maharaj first used to take the class. Second class was Jagadananda. So anyway, Hari Maharaj, when I saw the picture of Durga, Mother Durga, I said inadvertently, because Hari Maharaj had some carbuncle, some kind of bandage and all that. Advantage, I said, it is better to die young than to live long and suffer from all kinds of ailments and all that. Hari Maharaj was there, he got up. Who are you to dictate? Who are you to dictate? It is Mother's wish. It is Mother's wish. Mother Durga. So Hari Maharaj gave this, that say I want to join, although I was not at that time ready. But anyway, after some time, I joined. So Hari Maharaj quoted from Bhartri Hari. That is, Vairagam bhoge roga bhayam. If you enjoy, there is a fear of disease. Vitte chora bhayam. If you have money, there is a desire of hijackers, robbers. Vitte mane chuti bhayam. If you have a distinguished position, you may lose that status. There is a fear there. Sarvabhastu bhayannitam. Everything in this world is of Maya is fraught with fear. Vairagam eva bhayam. Renunciation alone can give fearlessness. Vairagam eva bhayam. That's Hari Maharaj's words. And then Hari Maharaj said, you joined a mission. Oh, that's good. But all your angularities will be chiseled out. Are you ready for it? Ready for it. And then through Mother's grace, they make us ready, make us fit, make us worthy. So, and it is therefore I can say that these great souls are living exemplars of vairagya, renunciation, which is the only way to reach immortality, which is the only way to attain Jivan Mukti, freedom in this life, in this body. And Swami Saradananda and Swami Turiyananda were very close friends. I have written in the book, one time Maharaj said, Swami Maharaj's condition is a Paramahansa state. The highly illumined soul lives in that state of condition. I want to bow down to him. Then Swami Saradananda, went straight from Advaitashram to Holy Maharaj's place and bowed down to Maharaj. Well, who is there? Who is there? I'm Sharat. Why did you bow down to me? Because Maharaj said that your stage is a Paramahansa stage, and on behalf of Maharaj and for myself also, I want to bow down to a Paramahansa, a great Paramahansa. Do I not know your glory? You see. Have I forgotten? Then Swami Turiyananda mentioned that when they went in the pilgrimage, there was hardly roaring of a tiger. And then, so why should it be in the mouth of a tiger, all the three of us? There are Swami Sarada, Swami Turiyananda, and his name is Kripananda, but he was a householder, Vaikuntha Sannal Mosha. Then Swami Turiyananda and Swami Kripananda, Vaikuntha Sannal, they went one way, and Swami Saranda went the way, and the tiger was there. And the whole night he stayed on a cliff, on a rock. The whole night he spent. Next time when they found that Swami Saranda was absorbed in great meditation. Swami Saranda thought, if I be in the mouth of the tiger, why not repeat the name of the Lord? So do I not know your glory, that the whole night you spent in meditation, without caring for the noise or the roaring of the tiger? So these great souls, the direct disciple of the Master, are the messengers of light, the messengers of truth, and messengers of freedom. And to see and to speak and to think and to meditate on them is a priceless treasure which I cherish in my heart. You have given me the great opportunity to talk of these great souls, and therefore I conclude, Tapotattang na janami, I have written the book. Tapotattang, I used to repeat that. Tapotattang na janami, kridishopi maheshwaro, jadishopi mahadeva, tadrishayo namo namo. Sri Ramakrishna, I do not know who you are, whether you are personal or impersonal, but please bless me and accept my salutation. And to Divine Mother, you have granted me this blessing, the privilege of knowing you. I have written in the book, I have seen her face, I have heard her words. I have not mentioned, but it is also implied, I have touched her feet. Now, I seek her grace with all the longing of my heart. It is only through her grace realization of God is possible. And if anything we can achieve in this life is only due to the grace of Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother. It is Sri Ramakrishna gives the power, and Holy Mother gives the wisdom. And these two great souls, Sri Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, are like the what shall I say? Like the mountain which stands for the absolute, and the ocean which stands for the dynamic activity, Shiva and Shakti. So Sri Ramakrishna is our eternal Father, Holy Mother is eternal Mother. And when we get the grace of Parvati and Parameshwaru, then our life will be blessed. Our life will be a fragrant flower to be laid at the altar of God. Thank you for your participation.